Much like a cult, manifestation seems to work for some of the elite followers and leaders and typically bankrupts everybody else. TikTok influencers are teaching others how to actualize their dreams through manifesting techniques. This seemingly new age type of prayer or chanting has taken off, especially with Gen Z. So is this a silly trend that will die out or a dangerous cultic practice that's leading people astray? Manifesting really is nothing new. You can go back up, as far back as you want to go. And there is this idea that you can just will things into existence, that by just simply sitting and thinking or chanting or actualizing, that you can put these ideas into the ethos, into the universe, and the universe will speak back to you. Now, this is not a Christian thought. Some people have tried to bring manifestation techniques into Christianity, and are those compatible? No, they're just not actually compatible with one another. Manifestation is almost like a form of prayer for people who, it's not fair to say they're irreligious, because we all have a religious longing at the depth of who we are, but who are not ascribing to any certain religious ideology and are certainly not ascribing to Christianity. I want us to look first at a compilation. I just pulled up manifestation compilation on YouTube, and for you to see some of these practices in real life. It says, how do you do it? Get a notebook and a pen. Write the name or object 3 times, or 6 times for intention, 9 times for how you want it to play out. So if you look, let's go just right back here. So you write the name or object of the thing you want 3 times, and then your intention 6 times, and then exactly when it's going to happen 9 times. So if you're not watching, she wrote phone, and then 6 times. Mom bought me a phone. Mom bought me a phone. Mom bought me a phone. Once again, this is like Gen Z and Gen Alpha doing this, right? Mom bought me a phone. And then 9 times, she bought it this August. She bought it this August. She bought it this August. She bought it this August, right? Okay, I've completely changed my mind. Manifesting is fun. So this is if you do this, then, make sure you use past or present tense like you already have it. Just name it and claim it, right? We've heard that in some heretical versions of Christianity sometimes. Let's keep going.
And law of attraction, probably because it's what I do, but I wanted to make a video telling you guys how I manifest, because a lot of my manifestations have been coming true lately, and it's freaking me out. So I use a 17 seconds method, and basically the theory is that you manifest something for 17 seconds, you put on a timer, and then you do it again for another 51 seconds after the first 17. And the theory is that every fourth, because that's 17 seconds 4 times, and the theory is that every fourth of the 17 seconds it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So if you do that, and then on top of a lot of gratitude, thanking the universe for what you have, genuinely thanking the universe for what you have, your manifestations will come through super fast, at least for me. So yeah, keep manifesting.
Welcome to the manifestation.
Okay, so we'll stop there. That gives you the general idea that you have these mantras. People put different times around them. People have different structures. Some people say you have to write it down, but it's all based basically on this idea of you put what you want out into the universe, and eventually that thing will come true. However, when you actually study the results of practicing manifestation, what you find is it doesn't always live up to the hype. It doesn't always live up to its promise. Here's an article from the New York Post. People who manifest big dreams are more likely to go bankrupt. It says, if you dream it, you can do it, or maybe just go broke.
Wow.
Manifesting, the suddenly trendy practice of thinking aspirational thoughts or ideas cosmically attract success, might not be as harmlessly woo-woo as it's hyped up to be. That's a sentence that's really in the New York Post. Those who believe in the practice of manifesting are at higher risk of going bankrupt, according to a new study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin. Researchers from the University of Queensland in Australia also found that daydream believers were more likely to be lured into risky investments and more apt to dangerously presume they can achieve an unrealistic level of success in a short amount of time. In our studies, we defined manifestation as the belief that if you send out your desires to the universe through positive thoughts, visualization, or acting as if goals have already come true, like writing a pretend check to yourself, the universe will deliver what you desire. Researchers analyzed what 375 people thought about manifestation. For every increased point on the scale, people were 40% more likely to have experienced bankruptcy. Okay, so they did a 7-point scale. on how much you believe in manifestation. For every increased point, you were 40% more likely to have experienced bankruptcy and 34% more likely to have cryptocurrency investments, but less likely to have invested in stocks. Given the value of that crypto has a history of massive gains over a short time, we imagine this finding is related to the fact that manifestors have a stronger belief in getting rich quick. So yes, just put it out there. All of these, Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids who are living in their parents' home and have all of their needs met and just want like an iPhone or a date to the prom or whatever. They have nothing actually on the line, right? Just put it out into the world and just manifest it, and it will all come to pass. Except that's not actually how it works. And when you just look at this from, I don't know, logic, common sense, you should understand this is crazy.
Wow.
Like this doesn't work, right? Spoiler alert, manifestation doesn't work, which begs the question, why is this so popular? One of the reasons that it's so popular is because not just kids, 13-year-olds in their, parents' house who really want iPhones are into this. There are a lot of celebrities and influential people who really do believe this and who put it out very specifically to their audiences. For example, here is Jake Paul teaching his, millions of people who follow him that manifestation is real and it's how he has become successful. Let's listen to Jake.
Stay tuned for that. It's going to be coming here in the next month or so. But today I want to talk about manifestation or manifesting, which may be an unfamiliar term for a lot of you guys. Some of you guys might have heard before. But basically, manifesting something in simple is when you say you're going to do something or say you're going to get something or start to think like you're going to get something, and you have that mindset for a long time, and that's all you can think about, and you don't let anything else get in the way of it, and then eventually those things come into your life. You manifest it. So
that's just a basic definition. Here's what manifestation is. Put these things out into the universe and they'll come back to you. And you might be thinking, this is like baby Jake. He's grown up now. He's a boxer. He's got his life together. He still talks like this all the time. When he talks about the success in his boxing career, he talks specifically about how he has manifested that success and that he will manifest his way to be the world champion boxer just by speaking it into the universe. So this isn't unfair. He is still holding the same line.
A lot to think about, but basically manifesting things can help you extremely in business and in life. I utilize it. A lot of other successful people that I talk to utilize it, and it's because it works. And it may seem silly, but like when you start to say, I'm going to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and you think that, and you don't let anything else get in the way, and you work towards that all the time, and you keep on saying it, and you keep on saying it, and you believe it, it seriously happens. For me personally,
it seriously happens. If you just think it and say it and believe it and put it out to the, it seriously happens. Except, does it seriously happen? No, it doesn't actually seriously happen. He goes on to tell a story, and he's younger in this, about how he wanted to meet Odell Beckham Jr., and so he just thought it in the universe, and then he went to New York City. Odell played for the Giants, so that's, kind of hedging your bet there. He went to New York City and he bought an Odell jersey, and then he manifested that he was going to get a date. And so he went up to a girl and asked her to go on a date, hedging your bets. And she said yes. And Jake Paul is very famous, and so that helps.
Wow.
And then they went on a date, and she was going to a party where Odell was there. And of course, that was manifestation just bringing itself into the universe. So does your mindset matter? Of course your mindset matters. Does your mindset affect you greatly? Does a positive mindset actually affect your health? Yeah, I mean, there's documented study about this. Should you be optimistic about life? Should you have hope? I mean, this is one of the calls for anyone who is a Christian, is that you should live with a hope. Even, in 1 Thessalonians, Paul is talking to people about what happens when their loved ones who are Christians die. And he says, you should grieve, but don't grieve like those who have no hope, right? Having hope in what is coming actually sets us up, empowers us to live with an incredible strength to endure suffering, to go through anything that this life throws our way. Here's the issue with manifestation. It's taught as if you just can sit still and then just draw things to yourself through the power of your thought. It negates, this is what the study found as well on bankruptcy and manifestation. It negates people taking action steps in their life, actually doing something to, engage with the world. Like, you should have a positive outlook and you should be optimistic. And I believe you should trust God, because God is ultimately in control of it all. And the people who are ultimately successful in life, and I know this about Jake Paul, is they are able to visualize a future for themselves, which if you're pessimistic, you're going to struggle to think about the future. So you stay optimistic, you think about your future, you put a plan in place, you put a target on the wall, you specifically name your goals. That's a part of manifestation. Name this goal that you want. And then you put a strategy in place with actionable steps and accountability around you to keep you on course. And you take the hill one step at a time by taking action and stepping your way to your goal. And usually you'll fall a little bit short of your goal. Sometimes you will succeed it, but you'll be much further along than you were where you started. And if you just sit in helplessness and hopelessness and pessimism, you won't think about the future. You won't put goals in place. You won't take care of your finances. You won't advance in your career. You won't advance in your romantic relationship. And so, yeah, like optimism, sure. I think that Jesus dying and shedding his blood and giving us new life and giving us eternal life, that should create untold levels of optimism. Christians should be the most optimistic people in the entire world, because even if everything goes to crap here, we still have hope for the future. But manifestation stops at optimism. It's like, I have this optimism, I just believe it's going to happen. You know, it's not faith, because faith is believing in something you have good reasons to believe. To just sit and chant something and think it's going to walk into your life, you don't have good reasons for that. And so why is this so popular? It's popular because successful people like Oprah, like celebrities, like actors and actresses, like Jake Paul, celebrities have not just sat still and the world come to them. They've been on their grind, right? They have achieved the success, and now they're standing at their success telling you, if you want to be like them, just sit and think about good things. This is what we call confirmation bias. Of course it works, because look at Jake Paul. He manifests, and he's like one of the most popular people on planet Earth. He gets everything he wants. He flies in private jets. It's confirmation bias. The problem is, this confirmation bias is like, it worked for me, but not for thee. It worked for me because I didn't actually follow what this was. And for me, manifestation is less like just a normal religious system and much more like a cult. Much like a cult, manifestation seems to work for some of the elite followers and leaders, and typically bankrupts everybody else. So people are attracted to cults because they see, like, man, this works. Like, look at the guy in charge of this, man. He's living life. He's got like the perfect family. He's making all kinds of money. This is how pyramid schemes work. Somebody comes on stage, and tells you, I made $350,000 last year, and all I did was sell this trinket and tell some of my friends to sell it too, And so you bankrupt yourself and you empty your retirement accounts to buy into some, MLM, and all of your money is gone. And they'll tell you these are the exact types of people who are like, you can just think it and believe it and do it, and then you can get there. And that's just not true. In the book of Proverbs, it says, all hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty, right? Okay, so do the work. Hard work brings a profit. Hard work gets you to your goals. Now, a mindset of optimism and hope allows you to visualize your future and to set specific goals and create a strategy to get to them. I'm not denying that. But then the hard work begins. All hard work brings profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. In Romans 12, the Apostle Paul said, do not be conformed to this age, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may discern what is the good, pleasing, and perfect will of God. He also said to the church in Ephesus, said, then we will no longer be little children, tossed by the waves and blown around by every wind of teaching, by human cunning with cleverness and the techniques of deceit. But speaking the truth in love, let us grow in every way into him who is the head of the church, the head of this movement, Jesus Christ. Manifestation, I think, is somewhere between really, really silly and maybe even actively dangerous. And it's going to be tempting for you to see people in levels of success telling you this is the way to get there. But just know that's not how they got there. They worked hard. They put a plan in place and they executed it. And I'm sure they had a positive mindset, and maybe they're even giving 100% or 98% of the credit to that positive mindset. But hard work brings a profit, and mere talk leads only to poverty. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Clayton Tyner podcast. If you want to watch the full podcast, you can check that out somewhere right around here. And if you want to subscribe, you can do that right over here somewhere. Also, you can follow me at Clayton Tyner. That's Tyner on Twitter and Instagram. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with everything that we're doing.